Next, we're going to mix together these two audio tracks to maximize their impact. If you've already spotted this audio yourself, feel free to continue to use that composition going forward. If you've skipped ahead, open up the Comp 11 audio mixing starter, where I've also already spotted the audio for you and done that rough edit of the dialogue against the music. I'm going to make sure that the audio switch is on for both of them, and let's brand preview these two together to see how they sound. I'm going to press the decimal point, or you can just go ahead and press 0 to brand preview the whole comp. Well, the timing's good, but it's really kind of hard to hear that dialogue over the music. And also, the two of them are so loud together, I see that we have a little bit of distortion as the two tracks were mixed together by After Effects. I have two ways to go here. One, I can select both of these layers, press L to reveal their levels controls, and try to just balance off their relative loudness for their entire duration to see if I can get that to work. And that is the first thing I'll try. But if that doesn't work, I may need to animate the volume levels to make things duck out of the way of each other. But first, let's go ahead and boost the dialogue and reduce the level of the music and preview that.
Boy, it's really rolling hills, Joe. Just like 14. Up and down we go. It feels like we need the seatbelts, doesn't it, Jim?
Well, the dialogue was more intelligible there, and I did not distort. I did not see these red indicators pop up on the audio panel. But in doing this, I'm losing the impact of really hearing the music at full volume at the start and end of my composition. So I am going to go ahead and animate these volume levels. As I mentioned a few movies ago, I don't animate the audio levels parameter. I don't like the way it fades up and fades down. It sounds unnatural, particularly during fade-ups. So I'm going to set this back to 0, and I'm going to use the stereo mixer effect instead. Now it's the music track that needs to be loud, then quiet, then loud again. So that's the one I'm going to animate. Now I'm fine with the music being at full volume during the introduction. However, we have this point where there's a hit, and then the rhythm starts. I always look for the interesting parts of the music that I've spotted as good first places to put keyframes. For example, I'm going to keyframe it so we have maximum volume here, but then a lower volume here so the music's out of the way when the dialogue starts. And that fade will be timed with beats or hits in the music. I'm going to apply Effect, Audio, Stereo Mixer, enable keyframing for the left and right level at 100%. Go to this next marker. I'm holding the Shift key to snap the current time indicator to the marker. Then drop these down to, say, 50% for my first attempt. Half volume. I'm going to press Home to go back to the start of the comp, and let's preview that and see how that works.
Boy, it's really rolling hills, Joe. Just like 14. Up and down we go.
Okay, that's an improvement. The music's loud at the start and quieter later on. If I wanted to, I could even go to this keyframe and make the music even louder at the start. You can boost your audio level as long as you don't see these red indicators start flashing. Then maybe go a little bit quieter once the dialogue starts, just to make sure it's intelligible. You can go ahead and tweak these as much as you want until it sounds good, until it sounds right to you.
Boy, it's really rolling hills, Joe. Just like 14. Up and down we go.
I like the louder music at the start. I don't like it being so quiet underneath the dialogue, so I'll just undo and undo to go back to my 50% keyframes when the rhythm starts. Okay, let's improve the end. After this last phrase ends, which is right around here, the music is still at its reduced volume level. Let's come back up to full volume by the time that the last bar of music starts after the dialogue is done, which is right around this beat that I've already marked in the soundtrack. I'm going to press U to reveal my existing keyframes and add audio keyframes at that point at my current level. If I went here to the end and just put new keyframes at 100%, the audio would be fading up from here to here. So instead I want to hold the same through here. You could also select these and use hold keyframes to make sure your volume stays level throughout there as well. But here I want to do a fade up and bring the music back gradually and then get back up to full volume in time for this last bar of music. So I'm going to say 100% for starters. I might try that higher volume level I used earlier just to see how that works, but this is a good starting point. Let's preview this.
Yeah, it feels like we need the seatbelts, doesn't it, Jim? Yeah, it feels like we need the seatbelts, doesn't it, Jim?
Not bad, but I think I can refine that a little bit. One way that I like to refine my audio mixes is that sound naturally rushes up and tails off as it gets louder, then it rushes down and tails off as it gets quieter. To simulate that, I leave the first keyframes of a fade at linear, but change the second keyframes of a fade to easy ease in. That way I will get my curve that rushes down and tails off into my new lower volume level. Go to the second set of keyframes, and if I wanted to, I could apply my normal easy ease in to those keyframes, but I thought I had a problem here where the music was getting loud too quick for my taste.
Yeah, it feels like we need the seatbelts, doesn't it, Jim?
Maybe yes, maybe no. That sounds a little bit more natural. But even though I've used this marker for a starting point of my fade, I'm not married to it. I can go ahead and cheat these a little bit later on and see if I like that any better. For me, that's staying out of the way of the dialogue and not stepping on it. So we'll go with that for now. You can adjust these to taste. Zoom back out, press home. Let's hear the whole soundtrack again.
It's really rolling hills, Joe. Just like 14. Up and down we go. Yeah, it feels like we need the seatbelts, doesn't it, Jim?
Yeah, I think that is a definite improvement over the earlier version where it was just straight levels, no fade-ins and fade-outs. I like this better.